Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa and today I'm doing my Christmas book haul. It feels so good to sit down. I just filmed the Reputation book tag and there was a lot of dancing, so I'm like happy to be seated. So this Christmas I got a lot of great deals on books, so I have a lot of books. So I picked out all of these myself and there were like two major splits. One was the Black Friday book outlet sale where I got, I want to say 14 books, but that could be wrong. And then another time I went to the thrift store and found like 16 books or something like that. So I'm going to talk about the books from the book outlet purchase first, only because I purchased them first. So I'm going to go with that as my reasoning. Okay, let's get started because I got a lot of books here. First off, I got The Crowns Game by Evelyn Skye. Oh, I forgot to mention, because I always forget to mention stuff. Some of these were books that I have read and really wanted, and others books I really wanted to read this year or last year, and they were just books I really wanted to read, but didn't get around to getting out of the library. So I saw them for super cheap and was like, if I own them, I can read them like whenever I feel like it. And I don't have to remember to get them out of the library. Crowns Game by Evelyn Skye. This one I really, really wanted to read. Like about magicians fighting to the death or something. Or enchanters, like a fantasy Russia. So it sounds really cool. And this cover is gorgeous. Copying Christine from Pole and Bananas books because she always takes the jackets off. And it looks really cool. It's like shiny and stuff. I'm very excited to read this one. Next is the book I'm probably going to read next after I finish my current read, and that is A Shadow Bright and Burning. This book sounds like something I will absolutely adore, and this is about a possible chosen one scenario and also like the last person with magic powers, and she has fire powers, and it just sounds so good. And I read like half a page of it on Amazon in the look inside like preview reading it, and I already love the writing style, so I'm really excited about this one, like really excited. And it has a sequel out, so I can rent that if I really like it. I have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I actually already read this. I actually have a review of this. I liked it, so I got it. Most people probably know what this is about because it was really hyped up when it came out, when I first read it. And it's about a secret carnival where magic happens, and this girl, her sister gets kidnapped and she has to go compete in the weird carnival competition because her sister is apparently the prize and everyone's looking for her. So she has to go and try and save her sister's life because she thinks she's in danger. She might be with this dangerous magician guy, and it's just really good, and it's like kind of weird but good, and I liked the descriptions of the magic and stuff in it were really interesting, and it's just really gorgeous inside. Like, I really love these pages. The chapter pages are just gorgeous. I enjoyed it. Now it's mine. Next I have Passenger and Wayfarer, the Passenger duology by Alexandra Bracken. I really love these books. They are about a girl named Etta who realizes she is actually from a family of time travelers. She's also like a really great violinist, and her violin helps her find the like portal things that allow you to travel through time. And it's just really good, and there's a really great romance with her and this other guy named Nicholas who is wonderful, and he's also a time traveler, and it's just really good, and they're gorgeous, and so really nice writing style. I like them. That's gonna be like my reasoning for all the ones I read where I liked them. So now I have them to reread at my, what is that? Not disclosure. Discretion? To read at my discretion? Possibly. I don't know. Words. Next is The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Curry. Had to get this one when I saw that it was on Book Outlet because, like, I think I've talked about this book and how amazing it is and how the writing is really, really good, and the magic in this is so interesting and I love it. And it's an Aladdin retelling. There aren't that many of those. It's an Aladdin retelling from the genie's point of view, and there's like a love story between her and Aladdin, and it's so good, and the plot is A+, and it's not purple. I was hoping it would be purple, but guess we can't get everything in life, can we? But anyway, really good book. Highly recommend. Next we have The School for Good and Evil, books 1 and 2. The box set for both of them was 40 cents more than the first one by itself, so I was like, I may as well get them both because I was going to get the first one. This is a middle grade book series that I have not read, and it sounds really adorable. I saw the author actually at Y'all Fest. He was on a couple different panels that I saw, and he was really entertaining. So I was like, his books are probably really good if he's entertaining. Saman Chinani? I don't want to butcher his name. And they sound really good. I've heard really good things about them too. Then we have Snow Like Ashes, part of some series. Don't know what the series is called, but I've heard good things about this series. It is a fantasy series in a fantasy world and something about magic. It sounded really good, and I've been meaning to read this since I started BookTube and heard about it over 2 years ago. So now I can read it when I feel like it. Also got Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. For some reason I get these two confused a lot. I don't know why I get them confused so much in my head, so I'm like, if I have them both and I read them both, I can finally distinguish them because they just both seem like cool sounding fantasy books that I want to read. So now I can read them. And this one is multiple point of view fantasy. Also something about magic or magic going missing and needing to find it or something. Funnily enough, I have book 3 because I found book 3 for $4 at the clearance section in the bookstore. And I also have the prequels of A Book of Spirits and Thieves. So I was like, I have to have the first one since I have the third one in the prequel. Why not read the first one first? I'm going to do that. And I have Origin by Jessica Curry. She's the same author of The Forbidden Wish. I really love her writing style. And this is not a fantasy, but a sci-fi. And if you remember me reading the book Vitro, which, like, I have it, but my mom's currently reading it because it's about clones and she likes things about clones. And this is another book about clones, and it's like clones on an island, I think, possibly. And it's technically the first book in the companion trilogy or companion series that Vitro is a part of, but they're companions, so you don't have to read them in order. That's why I was okay with reading the second one first, and I absolutely loved the Vitro. I'm really excited to read this one, and when I was ordering it, it was the last copy, so I was like panicking to order my books in time because like I wanted this book. So yay for victories. And if you've been watching my channel for the past year, you know that I have been obsessed with the Percy Jackson series this year. Basically anything McRiordan. I got Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, because why not have the first book? And then I got Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, which is the Greek myths but told from Percy Jackson's perspective and with his sarcastic voice, and I love this book. It's amazing. I thought I was getting the super fancy, like, big version that has the shiny pages and everything, but this still has the pictures in it, so I was slightly disappointed because it wasn't that big fancy version, but this was like $3 or like $4, so I guess I have the story now, but it's really good, really funny. I highly recommend this if you like the Percy Jackson series, or if you just like Greek mythology. You should really read this because it is hilarious. I was laughing in every story. And then because of this one, I got Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, which you see started on Christmas. And it's got Blackjack on the cover. I love Blackjack. No, Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes. This is basically the same thing, but instead of telling the story of the gods, it tells different Greek myths about different Greek heroes. I already started it and it's hilarious. So I get to learn more mythology. If you don't know, I love mythology. It usually doesn't make sense, but it's just so interesting to learn about. It's so much fun. That is it for my book outlet book haul. So let's get into the books that I found at the thrift store. They're in no particular order because they are in the pile that I put on the floor. First we got The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. I don't know if this is YA. This might not be YA. I'm not really sure. It mentions something about her being a teenager, but I don't know if that's when the story takes place. I think this is a thriller. With a singular voice and twists you won't see coming, Luckiest Girl Alive explores the unbearable pressure that so many women feel to have it all and introduces a heroine whose sharp edges and cutthroat ambition have been protecting a scandalous truth and whose heart is bigger than it first appears. The question remains, will breaking her silence destroy all that she's worked for, or will it set her free? She did something shifty in the past, and now it's coming back to haunt her, basically. And it sounded good. Apparently the original person bought this at Target for 30% off. Next we have Fault in Our Stars by by John Green. I think everybody knows what this book is about. Yes, it's the movie tie-in cover because that's what was there. I've never read this book. I have not read any John Green books, actually, and he's a very, very popular author. And I was like, since it's $1, why not give it a shot? Everyone loves it. I'm actually going to do a vlog when I read this of reading John Green for the first time, because he's some people's favorite author. So I think that'll be a really fun thing to vlog and see how I like it. Like, I'm still not sure if I'm even gonna like it. I might be like the one person in the world who absolutely hates it. But I'm really curious if I like this book. And if I like it, I'll watch the movie, because I haven't even seen the movie yet. But I do know how it ends, I think. The next book I found was The Forgotten by Kat Patrick. This is a YA thriller. Yeah, this was that one that sounded good. Oh yeah, because I forgot what I was buying. Every night while 16-year-old London Lane is asleep, the memory of that day is erased. So in the morning, all she can remember are events from her future. London is used to relying on reminder notes and a trusted friend to get through the day, but things get complicated when a new boy at school enters the picture. As it always does, Luke Henry is not someone you'd easily forget. Yet, try as she might, London can't find him in her memories of things to come. When London starts experiencing disturbing flashbacks or flash forwards, as the case may be, she realizes it's time to learn about the past she keeps forgetting before it destroys her future. So this sounds extremely confusing, but it sounds kind of cool. So I was very intrigued by this. I have not heard of this book. Oh, cool. I didn't even open it up. It's got a shiny cover. That's nice. Has anyone watched the show Jane the Virgin? Because the girl on the cover looks like she could be the young version of Petra from that show. She looks just like her to me. Anyway, next I got Rogue Wave by Jennifer Donnelly. This was definitely a cover buy because look, it's gorgeous. And it's about mermaids, and I could barely, I did read the inside flap, but it's actually a sequel to the first book in this series. And yeah, it's something about mermaids and adventure, and it sounds really good. I mean, I thought I would be able to find the first book at my library, but I looked it up, and they don't have the first one. So I think I can find it on Amazon.com for cheap. So I'm definitely going to be ordering the first book so I can read them in order, but this cover is just I can't get over how gorgeous it is. There are actually 2 of these at the thrift store. Now this is purple, as it should be. Mermaids and Adventure, and Saving the Ocean, I think. And then I found another random sequel that I haven't actually looked up, so I don't know if the first one's at my library, but it's called Balancing Art. And it's so cool. It's got these watercolor pages inside, and it's about a girl who is a fashion designer. And so it has these drawings that I think are her designs in it, and I thought that just looks so cool. It's weirdly heavy. But yeah, it's about this girl who has an internship with a fashion designer, and I think lots of stuff happens. And it sounds cool because if you don't know, I love fashion design. I personally do not know how to sew because I don't have a sewing machine, but I've always been interested in fashion design and drawing new clothes and stuff for my characters. And so anything that's about fashion design, books or TV shows, especially TV shows about fashion design, I loved Jane by Design on ABC Family, and this kind of reminds me of that. And they canceled it. Fashion design and a book, and it sounds cool. Next I got something that is a lot of people's favorite book, or it's very popular. It is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. Again, these prices just make me laugh because $10.92. Actually not a bad price, but this was $2, so even better price. This is about a girl who, there's a mystery going on around her, and she may or may not be crazy, and I've heard it's a thriller, and it's really interesting and mysterious, and people are obsessed with it. And like the sequel series, The Becoming of Noah Shaw, is recently coming out. And I've been hearing good things about that. So when I saw this at the thrift store, I was like, hey, seems like a good time as any to pick up this book and read it. I just heard so many good things. I'm excited to read it and see if I like it. Next is The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. Not gonna lie, I mostly picked this up because Emma from Emma Books raves about this and says it was really amazing. And again, it's paperback. And the paperbacks at that particular thrift store that I went to are all $1. Hardbacks are all $2, so this book is in perfect condition. It sounds interesting too. It's about vampires. There's like a walled world called Cold Town where vampires live, and it's very dangerous to go in there. But for some reason, the main character ends up there and stuff happens and they have to like survive. And it sounds interesting, and I've heard that it's really good. And so I was like, why not revisit my vampire phase? Because back when I was around 16, 17, after I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, I read all this vampire fiction because that was the height of the Twilight craze. And while I'm not a big Twilight fan, I do like the other vampire books that followed that Twilight craze. So I feel like this will be fun to revisit vampire-themed books. And then I got Heist Society and Perfect Scoundrels. I believe this is the first and second book in the Heist Society series by Ali Carter. I really liked her Gallagher Girls series about the girl who's at a school for spies. So this is something about a heist. It sounds like one of those team of thieves type situation. They all work together to bond and go on this mission and wackiness ensues. So I'm excited to read this, and I really think this is the sequel. It says a Heist Society novel, so I hope it's the sequel. Next, I got 3 books, either a trilogy or the first 3 books in a series, and they are First Grave on the Right, Second Grave on the Left, Third Grave Dead Ahead, and this is an adult series, I believe, about a woman who is actually the Grim Reaper. She is a part-time private investigator and full-time Grim Reaper, and I think she also likes fashion or something. Anyway, it's supposed to be like a funny series that I think is also kind of a mystery type thing, so I saw that it had like the first 3 books. I was like, why not read it? Because it sounds entertaining, and I have never heard of it, but maybe it's popular. I have no idea. And finally, we have The Perfectionists by Sarah Shepard. She is the author of Pretty Little Liars, and I think they might be planning to make a new TV show spin-off of Pretty Little Liars based on this book. So I was like, I could read the book and see if I like it and decide if I want to watch the show. If you watch the end of Pretty Little Liars, they tried to do this thing where they were setting up for this other series, and I was not super impressed with it because I was like, why are you doing this? But anyway, this book sounds kind of interesting, so I decided to get it, and it's all pretty and blue. Nice and colorful. So those are all of the books that I got for Christmas. If you're still here, thank you so much for sticking by this long. Let me know if you've read any of these books and your thoughts on them, or what books sound interesting to you, or what books you got for Christmas that you are really excited to read. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I upload new videos on Mondays, plus the occasional surprise video, so please subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and hit the little bell notification icon if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye! Now I have to do the thumbnail, and there are a lot of books and I'm kind of scared. So.